darkened wings they shone as night, risen up from ash and fright, seeking dawn amidst the blue, chasing dreams I once knew. Feathers charred by ancient fire, from the darkness they aspire. Silent whispers through the trees, guiding me with gentle breeze. White ravens soar into the sun, unfolding truth that's just begun. From shadows cold to blazing sky, we find our light as we fly high. Past is but a fleeting wish, echoes in the night's only. It's Brenda, Wolf, and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brenda, Wolf, and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Welcome everyone to Phoenix Talks. Dan knows this or not, but this is our 50th episode. 50.
And
We've
50 is
done
a
this
lot.
50 times now.
That's a lot. It's pretty impressive.
It really is. And it's like, wow, we started this journey 2 years ago.
We did. And just
And
FYI,
it's,
I may ask you to repeat yourself a couple times because it's a little wonky with the connection. So
okay, no
I'm not
worries,
sure.
no worries. It
Thank you. So
have apps open on my computer and it just happens that way.
and hi Carrie and whoever else is out there that I can only see.
Hello, Carrie, out in the Tube live chat. And if you're watching in Facebook, throw us a hello in there. I do have an iPad so that I can see any comments or questions or hey's. If you're out there watching from on Twitch, give us a shout out. We'll see all the chat right here next to us. But next talks host the lovely Diane DiBiase.
Hi.
Week, it was her turn to topic, so I'm not going to share it. I'm going to let her.
Okay, so to share or not to share, that is the question along the healing journey. So the reason why I brought up this topic is because there are a lot of, there's a little bit of confusion sometimes when you're going through the healing process and you want a couple different pieces. You want to, number one, share what you're experiencing because you want others to experience what you're experiencing, or you want to share with individuals that are close, in quotes, to you. I say that loosely because sometimes this is also where you recognize that you're not on the same page as some people the way you thought you were now because you did some healing and you're growing and things are a little off. So there's a lot to unpack here with the to share or not to share. And I'd love to start with the whether or not to share your healing journey with others and when to know when it's safe to, or whom to share with and when it's appropriate. Let's start with the I want everyone to know what I know sharing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How many times I personally have made a breakthrough about myself, and I just want to run to Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere and say, guess what I just figured out about myself? And everybody looks at me like, huh?
Sometimes I'm gonna preface this whole conversation by saying sometimes the healing journey is a little bit lonely after you recognize you can't always share and not everyone's open to hearing. And
Right.
then when you do share with some folks, you realize, oh, you're not on the same page anymore, and they're just not doing it for you anymore.
Yeah, it just reminds me of something that I've said many, many times, especially when you're stepping into your own authenticity, that 99% of the people that you thought were with you aren't going with you. As soon as you discover who it is you actually are as you're going through your healing journey and making all of these discoveries. So share away, but be ready.
Right. I know personally, several years ago when I started my healing journey, and intentionally and consciously, I wanted to share with everybody, and I wanted everybody to also fix themselves. It doesn't work that way, because that helped me learn that not everybody is ready to understand or willing to hold themselves accountable or self-reflect in those ways that I was doing at the time.
And how many people looked at me like I was nuts when I made the discovery that thought that there's a direct correlation and you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
But what? Now it makes sense, but what? I don't get it. And meanwhile, I'm over here in this moment where everything is just starting to click and make sense, and everybody else around me is just like, oh.
Right. It makes sense to you because you're the one experiencing it. But what you've soon to come realize, and the reason why I want to have this conversation is because I want folks to kind of understand this aspect of it instead of going through. I mean, you're going to go through whatever emotions you're going to go through, but I'm kind of giving you a heads up. Oh, yeah, but by the way, don't get hooked on the idea that other people are going to come follow you in this journey, and other people are interested in self-reflecting and healing the way you're healing, and other people are really actually care at all, to be honest.
Right.
And that sounds like a harsh statement.
It does weed out a lot of who is really with you.
Yeah.
When you share.
Right. And you're not going to change anybody.
Your healing journey.
You're not going to fix anybody. No. You're not going to change anybody. So is it really necessary to share, or are you just putting yourself in a weird position now? So think about it.
This is where discernment comes in.
Yes. Yes. And releasing yourself from any false sense of responsibility that you create with this excitement that you have for your healing journey. Because your sharing comes from a good place, but keep that energy in here.
I mean, wow. Talk about taking a leap in my mind, and because you never know what's just going to pop in for a reference. Say you've committed a heinous crime in the past, and you're in the process of forgiving yourself for such that happened. Well, depending on the level of whatever it was that you did, I don't know that I'd broadcast it.
So I agree with you. And it really, this ties into the next segment of whom we share. A funny anecdote on this topic is I went to a meditation one time, a group meditation, and we were all just talking and introducing ourselves and talking about ourselves. And sometimes I forget that my choice in career isn't where everyone is at, even though they may be in a spiritual place and giving the idea that they're evolving. Because I will mention something about deep trauma healing. I did at that group meditation mention something about deep trauma
Yeah.
healing some mother wounds. And I got that blank stare like, what do we do with this? I was fine with the
Well, I'm glad that works for you.
But I might have triggered and traumatized some individuals there who hadn't even thought of that yet for themselves and weren't even
Right.
there yet in their journey. So
Right.
not everyone's on
Like,
their page.
I'm so glad that's working.
Right.
I've gotten those faces too. I've given those faces.
Yeah.
I've given those faces. It's like, I'm so glad that resonates for you, and that absolutely worked. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. So you might actually trigger and traumatize people who are not even remotely there yet, or you might also receive some feedback that minimizes how far you've come because of their lack of understanding and limitations around those topics. So you're also now potentially going to receive feedback that isn't really in alignment with you, which is fine because you weed people out. But at the same time, it's like, do you really need that when you're first trying to get yourself fresh started and excited about your journey? It kind of like throws a wrench in it for you in some ways. So
Yeah.
be mindful.
And actually I'm going to share a comment on the screen that came in from YouTube. I share my excitement over a healing moment and share it. Then I slip backwards as soon as I do.
Right.
And part of the reason that happens is exactly what she just said, because there's that automatic realization of, oh, shouldn't have said that.
Right. Because they're not ready. I want to make sure that you understand.
They're not ready. And their energetic toward
Yeah.
you is part of what causes you to slip back, because you're still in the healing process. You might have had a breakthrough, but you're still in that healing process.
Right.
So when it isn't well received, yes, been there, done that, understand it, live it.
Exactly. So I want you to be aware of that you don't necessarily, or I don't want to shut on anybody. It's use your discernment, but you.
Oh, should away on this one.
Yeah.
Should away on this one.
You don't necessarily need to share with everyone. I know you're excited. I know you want everyone to be on the same page as you and heal because it's helping you. They may not be ready. And it's that simple. They may not. People can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. If they're not on the same train of self improvement and growth and evolution as you are, it's not going to have the impact that you expect it to. So that's another piece. You're going to realize to get rid of those expectations real fast, because you're placing your judgment on someone else in a way by projecting the expectation that they're going to receive what you're saying and run with it for themselves. Don't do that to yourself, because that's going to come back and
my other co-host is trying to get on camera and I'm pushing him away. Sorry.
Listen.
Sorry for oversharing.
He's got a lot
to add. If you think that I'm not paying attention.
Listen.
He usually does.
Jasper's got a lot to say.
Especially his behind. Which he likes to share, and I wish that he would.
He's sharing the love.
He's sharing something.
Yes.
But now, something that I wanted to add to what she had just said was that when you are in this excitement and you're sharing with people and they don't get it. Now, this is where the weeding out starts to really happen, because if it's someone that's truly on your side and excited about what you're going through, the breakthroughs, that it doesn't matter if they understand it or not. It doesn't matter if they are there for you without question, without doubt.
Yeah.
So don't take their reluctance or their pullback as feedback that you're not doing any healing or that they don't care.
Right.
Because they do, they just don't know how to support you. They want to. So the minimal words that are given, and I know Carrie knows this from experience with me because we're very close.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many times where she will have this magnanimous breakthrough and I'll be like, okay, cool. Or vice versa.
Yes.
And it just happens. But we are close enough to know that that's not going to bridge or that's not going to cause a distance that we have to bridge.
Right. So
because we're both on similar yet different journeys
yes.
of our own individual healing and progress and movement.
Yes. So that leads me to also the next part of this, which is how do you know who? And I feel like that, and this is a me thing. This is everyone's got their own perspective on this, but the Diane thing is there's the category like you and I, Micah, where, okay, cool. We're both on our own healing journey. We both meet ourselves very deeply. Mm-hmm. And therefore we can hold space for the other person to share what it is that they've understood about themselves without having anything but love and support. So there's that category of individuals, and that type of feedback that you want is that positive, supportive, maybe there's a follow-up question in there that is to gain more information, to maintain that support, that kind of thing. So that's one category of individual. The second category of individual are those that don't quite understand because they're not there yet, but they're curious. So they want to support you, but they may say like, yeah, but I don't understand. Yeah, but what do you mean? But what about this? But what about that? They're not being argumentative. They're just being inquisitive and questioning like, but how does that? What do you mean? Like if you don't feel threatened by their questioning and they just genuinely seem like they're, yeah, but I don't think so, because then this, and you can return with some other conversation expressing and elaborating on what it is that you understood. And if they come to a place of okay, all right, I could totally get that. I see that. Then, that's that category of they might know you first, say no, like, what are you talking about? But then curiosity and intellect gets in there and they want to understand and support because they know your heart, they know the type of person you are, and they value you. Those type of people value you, even though they may not be on the same level, they still value you and they want to support you. Albeit whatever limitations they have for themselves, they're still there. And then there's the third category that I feel exists, which is the category of those individuals who simply cannot meet you where you're at, or simply believe so vehemently what they believe within themselves and their perspective that they cannot understand what you're talking about. Those will be the people that sound argumentative, that criticize, that judge you based on things that you don't even value as something important to be judged on. So like those negative, they do feel threatening to you because they are in the sense where they're threatening your peace of mind. Those are
they're going to come across like parents telling their children, you're going to go out looking like that. I mean, that it's not a direct reference, but it's the same type of,
Yeah. So their limitations and their judgments are just stuck there. They're not interested in elaborating and expanding their own knowledge and understanding. So they're not going to be capable of meeting you there. They're just going to pass judgment on you. And their idea of support is to, well, I need to tell you that you're doing it wrong and this is going to be wrong for you. And you need to listen to me because I know what I'm talking about and you're going down the wrong road. Like,
How Italian of you.
I know, right? Look at the hands are talking and everything.
Seriously, you just reminded me of an Italian mother. Anthony!
So those are the categories. Those are the people. Those are the ones that we don't want to share with
Oh,
for
and
sure.
say hello to
Hi,
Jasper.
Jasper.
Okay, and say goodbye to Jasper. Okay, he just needed to take a lap around
Yes,
the
he
camp.
had a lapify.
And here we come again. Yes.
He had a lapify us. There he is again, round two.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, buddy.
Ah,
Hello, handsome.
okay, we're just. He has been especially mushy and in need of feed me several times a day. I'm oversharing, but I don't care.
And
If you don't like it, leave.
let's talk about oversharing, especially for us neurodivergent folks, because oversharing is a type of attempting to relate to someone, and sometimes we overshare as a type of connecting with someone. Don't overshare. Hit the pause button on yourself and allow yourself to say, is it worth my energy and effort to put out this social, emotional stock that I have, and then it's gone with this person who means nothing to me in my grand scheme of things life? And did I just waste my one spoon on that? So please use your discernment as a neurospice, because there is that oversharing thing that occurs, and it's really hard to hit the pause button on yourself when you're neurospice. So,
like if you bump into somebody, just say, "Oops, excuse me, I'm so sorry." Don't sit there and give your entire family history of why you were looking at your phone and turned around and smack them in the face because you weren't paying attention because all of this stuff is going on in your life. Just bring it back.
the pause button is your best friend when it comes to deciding to share. So, and when you do just when you feel okay, so I'm going to skip around a bit. When
That's fine.
You'll know who the right person to share is if they're already someone who you feel like you can be your authentic self with, and they've never judged you or gave you their 2 cents that was any negative thing. Those
And most of the time they look at you like, "Are you going to breathe?" Obviously on the comedy part.
Yes.
Of the team.
Yes. Yeah. So we do have those we do have those folks in our lives that mean something to us that we want to have as part of our healing journey. And so if you already feel your nervous system relax and you can feel authentic around them without feeling judged, you already know they're going to be safe to share with. That doesn't mean they don't have limitations or they're not quite going to understand you, or they might not, push back a little bit with questions. It just means if your nervous system's already relaxed and they mean something to you, it's a green light to share. Yeah.
And you'll know when you have begun to overshare, or if you've stepped into a territory that they don't understand or that it doesn't resonate with them. You'll know whether they say anything or not. So watch body language, watch eye movement.
Yeah.
Pay attention to where their attention is going. If it's escaping from you, just change the subject. There's nothing wrong with that, and don't take it personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless they give you reason to.
Yeah.
Because half the time, what we perceive as a response isn't right. Unless you know what to look for. And most of the time, if you're really close to somebody and you have really been paying attention to their eye movements, their physiology, how they're holding themselves, what they wind up doing. If they can multitask while you're having a conversation, then it's a little bit more difficult to read. But most of the time, you'll know because they'll be giving you cues. Okay, you're now starting to either bore them, and they're starting to tune you out because they're thinking about the grocery list.
Well, those multitaskers
Or
are going to ask you a question or interject a comment or ask a clarifier.
right,
So there will be
right.
some interaction. I know sometimes if you want me to really listen to you, if I got to make direct eye contact and hold it, you will lose me because I'm neurospicy. I need my monkey brain to be physically doing something and multitask. And I
Yes.
promise you, I'm going to be like, wait, what about, do you mean this? Is that what you mean by that? What is that? I will ask and engage whilst I'm actively listening fully and completely.
Right.
Um,
Or the ADHD like me that just gets distracted very easily and starts to tune somebody out without even meaning to. You're not boring me. It's just how my brain works. And my phone will go off in mid-sentence for you, and my attention will be drawn directly to what's going on my phone. I'll look at it. I'll respond to whoever it was that messaged, and then I'll look at you and say, I'm so sorry. I only half heard what you said. Carrie, I did this to you yesterday. That's why it's so fresh in my head. I literally said that to her. I said, I do apologize because I had this message come in, and I started to pay more attention to that. Now, these are signs, all of which we're giving you, different kinds of neurodivergence and different ways of people listening and being attentive to what you're sharing. And if they aren't throwing these extra cues out to what you're sharing, they don't give a shit.
yeah. Yeah. You know what great questions you want to hear? Is it helping you? Are things getting better for you? I'm really happy for you. I'm so glad you're helping
Mhm.
yourself that way. Those are good things that you want to hear. The the way you're going to be able to discern, I'm going to flip it to the other side. If you should share with an individual who might potentially give you negative feedback and criticism and project judgment and expectations at you, those individuals, you're not going to have a relaxed nervous system. You're going to have this false sense of obligation and responsibility to report to them your status. So if it feels like you're reporting to them out of obligation because you owe them they make you, nobody can make you feel anyway, but they leave you feeling as if you owe them an explanation of your progress in life or where you're at. To me, that's the unhealthy.
While it's nice to hear, one of the worst questions you can ask somebody who is going through emotional shifts and change is, how are you? It's nice to hear. It's nice to know that the person cares. But when there is so much that's being worked on by someone with their emotions trying to get to release them, simply asking, how are you, shows that you weren't paying attention. Were you able to work on what we talked about? Are you feeling better about what you were telling me last night? Did you make any movements? Questions like these show the other person that what they shared mattered. How are you? Is mama programmed me to say this because I know you're going through stuff and I just want to check in. It's the easy way out.
It is. And not everybody has the depth to understand that they can ask, or they're allowed to ask bigger questions, more poignant questions to engage an individual if they truly deeply are interested in how they're really doing in life, and truly wanting to support. It's that kind of also tells you where they're at. If they're just at the, oh, so how are you doing? Like, realize people don't really care. That's the reality. And that's not a bad thing or not here nor there. It's just the reality is it's the same as you. Do you want somebody to go on who isn't really somebody who matters to you going on and on and on and on and on? It's taking your energy. So like, you don't also want to give all this information to somebody who's not interested in receiving it because it's taking your energy too.
Right. And I literally just felt somebody tune out in this part of the conversation. I literally felt that, and I don't know if it's present or future, but if you just tuned out everything that we just said, you're focused on the negative. You're focused on it being a negative that we are shooting on you. We're not.
No.
So please understand that this is all a matter of growth. It's all a matter of living in your authenticity, living in your truth, and understanding that your truth and somebody else's truth may not always align, and that's
Mhm.
okay.
Right.
And this particular lesson about sharing is to give you insight and cues to look for, and cues that you can offer if you truly care about somebody, or if somebody truly cares about you,
Mhm. Right.
and watching your own emotional growth. So sorry for that tangent, but I literally felt like I felt offended because of somebody else feeling offended. And it was just like, where did that? Oh, that's not me. We need to address this now.
And maybe that's something that you'll use as a tool to help you understand yourself a little bit better, because ultimately the information that either of us share is just information for you to take with you on your journey. If it's useful, great. If you ain't there yet, that's fine too. We're giving you a heads up. You're still going to need to experience what you're experiencing. You're still going to share with individuals who you didn't know you shouldn't have shared with, because you don't know until you have that experience. And then that's just adding information into your toolbox for you to analyze and decide what to do with from there. Everything is just, I like to call it, gathering data. You're just gathering intel for yourself so that you understand what's most peaceful for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So it
100%.
just is what it is. It's a matter of learning who and when and where to share. And that's part of the process. So if we can help you in any way with whatever little tidbits and pieces of information we can throw at you, it'll ease the journey and make it a little less ah.
And it's a nice segue. It's a nice segue because when you presented the topic to me, I took it to one of the branches of sharing. And when you are on your emotional and mental healing journey, there are people along the way that you need to talk to work things through, or that you want to. You're having a conversation with somebody, they say something that upsets you. You don't want to hold on to that. You want to respond to that. How do you do it? Do you do that? Do you do it through text? Do you do it over the phone? Do you do it on a FaceTime? Do you do it in person? My response to all that, whatever you're comfortable with, because rules, there are no rules when it comes to sharing your heart and how you feel. The responsibility and the accountability of how that is received once it is put out there, doesn't matter if it's an email, a text. You want to Vimeo it, go ahead. You want to throw it on an Instagram post, go however you want to do it. People around you decide.
Right.
Whether or not they want to accept that. If they don't like it, they exit stage left. If they do accept it, and it opens up the potential for more open communication, it doesn't. Rules are instilled by people who are offended at how somebody else does it when it comes to communicating with somebody else. And sometimes when you are wanting to really express how you feel, but you don't know if you're going to be able to get the words out by speaking them, writing them down, and sharing them with somebody, golden.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was, and we can keep on going, but that was my introduction and on this particular branch.
It's all there. And please understand that if you do decide to share and the individual cannot meet you where you're at, that doesn't mean that you're doing your journey wrong. It just gives you information of where they're at. I felt like I needed to repeat that. It's telling you where they're at and where their limitations are. They may not be able to reach you. You're doing the
Mhm.
hard work for yourself.
Yeah.
Not everyone's coming on the journey with you. Some are. Some grow with you. Some who can't move are most likely going to hold you to the person you used to be that you don't even want to be anymore or like anymore. That's why we're growing and evolving. We're growing and evolving so that we're not the same person we were, so that we don't keep repeating the same patterns. Sometimes those
Right.
folks are just going to look at us and be like, well, change is not even a thing. It doesn't happen. So I'm remembering you the way I choose to remember you, and that's not in a positive light. So they're going to hold you to somebody that you used to be. And that's
Yes.
not okay for you. So
No.
doesn't mean that they're bad, doesn't mean they're a horrible person. It just means that's you're not going any further with them. That's where their limitations hit.
I can remember a time when I was starting to work on my own healing journey, and it changed my personality a little bit because I was starting to look at myself a little bit differently. I was still fun, but not quite as passive aggressive fun. So I actually had people say, I want the old Micah back. I don't like this Micah.
Yep.
And because I was still on my journey, I gave him the old Micah back and had to continue on later after the eventual separation happened anyway.
Right.
And this was a work relationship. This wasn't even a romantic relationship or family. It was a work thing. So if they don't like who you are becoming, that's not on you.
Thank you for saying that out loud, Micah. You're not responsible to them. You're not obligated to share anything with those who cannot come along with you on the journey.
No.
Yep. This is such an important conversation.
And sometimes it really is. And sometimes you have to share where you're at. And it has a few layers to that. You have to share where you're at so that somebody else can understand their part in where you're at. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes because you do that, they decide, well, okay, well, if that's how you really feel, I'm done. I'm out. You have to be okay with that, because if you chase after them because you're becoming who you want to be and they don't like it, that, like I said, that's on them, not
Right.
you. But there's another layer that a lot of people don't see right away.
Right. Right.
Where the example you set of being true, being authentic, being you without compromise. Oh. Well, at the time it didn't really work for me, and I can't really mend this relationship, but I can work on myself.
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see.
Right. Unapologetically, and recognize that you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. You owe no one any explanations of where you're at, period.
Disclaimer.
Yes.
This is not permission to be a jackass.
Correct.
Or a dick.
Nope. You don't have to be.
Not permission. Not permission to just be a negative Nelly and go around just being negative. Just no. We're not saying that. I need to put that out there. Because it's like, well, is he just saying that or are they just saying that it's okay just to go out and stab somebody and then I can work on myself, but I won't share that. I'm recycling. We ain't saying none of that.
No, but sometimes you have the pushback from people with regards to what it is that you're sharing.
Right.
And those folks might just want to know your business and not really actually deeply care that you're evolving as a person, that you're growing as a person. They don't really care about that. They're just looking for information. That's not really, you're not obligated to give them any information. It is perfectly okay. Again, true, relevant, kind. It is perfectly okay to say, I'm not really open to sharing that right now, but I am open to saying I'm doing really, really well, and things are unfolding exactly the way I need them to for myself. So thank you for your interest, and just leave it at that. You don't have to elaborate. You don't have to be rude,
Right.
but you can respectfully tell them that you're not open to sharing more deeply.
And be careful who you share to.
Hmm.
This it's an interesting, while you were talking, that scenarios just keep flying in.
Of course.
Like they always do. Because I was taken back to a time when I was having issue with somebody and we had mutual friends, and I would go and I would vent to the mutual friends about the person. Then those mutual friends would go back to the person and share what I shared in their version to the person, which caused even more friction than was already there. So why didn't I just go and share with that person to begin with? Because I didn't know how, I wasn't ready, and I was taught in that particular situation that what I shared didn't matter. And because I was trying to be such a people pleaser, I was like, okay, well, you're right. Those are my emotions. You're correct. But we have something new. If you don't have a situation, or if you don't have a circumstance where you can actually go and share with somebody how to work things through, do a brain dump. We have AI now. We have Chat GPT, and I recommend it to say to just brain dump. Did this today actually. Just brain dump into Chat GPT. Say, I got all these things. This person's doing this, that. And it's like a journal that talks back.
Yeah.
And it'll even ask you, do you want my honest opinion? So you can actually have some feedback without having to talk to a single person.
Yep.
And you can actually work through what you want to share, how you want to share.
Right. So let's talk about our intentions behind sharing and consciously deciding we are not going to share with the intention or the idea that someone is going to jump on our bandwagon and grow with us or change with us. That's out. We're going to share with individuals who feel that you feel genuinely care about your experience and want the best for you and want to see you grow. You are going to learn who those people are based on who you share with and how it's received. So don't shame yourself for sharing with the wrong person or sharing for the wrong reasons or whatever. It's a learning process. But the intention.
In other words, we just had tax time. Don't share that you cheated on taxes with somebody who works for the IRS.
Good analogy. Yes. You're on point with the comedy tonight.
As Carrie said in the chat earlier, Danger Papa. This is one of my nicknames over in Rise Radio. Is Danger Papa, because when the comedy comes out with the quick wit, yeah, I'm on fire.
That's funny.
But seriously, all of the things that she just mentioned.
Yeah.
Know who, know how, know when.
Right.
Don't take it personally, their response, if they're not on board with you.
Right. And you will notice that the more deeply you heal, the less you want to share with anyone, because you need to figure out and understand yourself more. If you're sharing to speak out loud, to verbally process out loud, choose the friend wisely, choose somebody who actively listens and always has, choose someone who is interested in learning what you know. Don't feel obligated to explain yourself to individuals who just want to know your business. You'll learn the difference. You'll figure it out.
And something that I've been trying to hold on to, sharing your emotions with as many people as will sit and listen to you is a form of validation. And if you are continuing to share your journey with anybody who will sit still long enough,
Mm-hmm.
and you're still on your journey, and you're not using it as story time, as a metaphor, but oh my God, I'm still going through this. I can't believe this isn't working yet. And you're getting as much feedback to validate
Right.
that you should be in pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you know that you're oversharing in a different way, not just with one person, but just in general. If you are oversharing the same story with the same intensity of energetic, with the same tone, with the same feeling, then you're oversharing and you're not actually on a healing journey. You're on a validation journey.
Right. And that sometimes when you're stuck in victimhood mentality, you share with everyone. I know I was there many, many years ago. I was one of them. I would just tell everybody my business because that's number one. That's what I was taught. I was taught that I was obligated to report and explain myself. Number one. Number two, I was taught that it's relatable and it's connection and connectivity to complain. Which can often sometimes look like sharing your progress or journey, sometimes can be received as complaining to individuals who aren't able to reach you where you're at. So,
yeah,
it's a no. Be highly intentional and selective with whom you share with, because it is very tricky on the healing journey. You can set yourself forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, seeking that validation that you were talking about.
Right.
Don't do that to yourself.
No. Wow. I'm kind of full up. Are you full up?
We did good. We don't want to overshare. Listen.
I had to pull a smule there and literally look at you like as if you were sitting right next to me. Even though you're across the country. Did you really just say that?
Yes, I did. I went there.
Oh, she went there.
All right, shameless plug time. What do you think?
Go for it. Go for it.
Diane or DiBiase, Facebook, Instagram. And you can find me on heal.me. And like Micah, life coach, trauma specialist, and I do energy healing also. So if we resonate, I'll hear from you. And I hope that you learned something today. And hopefully we gave you some good tidbits. And Micah, what's going on in your corner?
Yeah, I put her information in the description. So for her Facebook, you can reach out. Just even if you want to just click send a message to her, do it that way. You don't necessarily have to send a friend request, but just shoot her a message. Say, hey, saw you on Phoenix Talks, want to connect. And I put the link for the Evolve and Emerge group that I have over on Facebook. My profile link is in the channel information, as well as my website, untriggered.net. It's really easy. I do offer coaching, readings, packages, whatever the case is. I have a bi-weekly membership call, which to Evolve and Emerge members, they can join the call just to observe if they don't want to subscribe, see if it's something that resonates with them. You want to work with me privately, my pricing is on my website, and I welcome I don't know if the email works. So reach out to me directly if you are interested. And as things progress, I will make sure that you guys have easier access to me. That said, I am now doing 3 podcasts a week, including this one.
Yay.
And the next time you'll see me will be with Lunaria, also known as DJ Carey, on Monday at 6 p.m. right back here. No, I'm sorry, not here, on her YouTube and Twitch, DJ Carrie Lynn with 2 N's and 2 R's and an IE. But you can catch that where she and I will give tastes of free mini readings, do a collective reading. And then on Tuesdays, I have a brand new show that just premiered this week. It's called Brindle's Vision. And I'll be providing even more music from the Rise Radio community and also some more messages. Whatever enters my heart that I want to talk about that particular day. It might be a couple days before, and I'll just hold on to it. But I also offer a collective reading then as well. So whatever in our conversation here, there, anywhere that you might see me resonates, take it with you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because most of our opinions are on our personal experience and our own journeys. So there are others that will disagree, and I'm okay with that.
That's okay. That's okay.
But we've had a great show.
Yes.
It's my turn, and I don't know exactly what the topic is going to be for next week just yet. I hear it trying to poke through all the rest of the noise, but I'll let you know. Be sure to watch out for that reel coming up whenever I get it made. Until then, you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, or whenever you're watching this. If you're watching this over on Facebook, before they take it down, throw us a hashtag replay in the comments. Don't forget to click subscribe to this channel so that you'll know when I go live, and click that like button so you can throw us into the search engine a little bit more and a little bit more of the algorithm.
Yes.
Till then.
Until then. And
that's a mouthful.
And just FYI, check out all of Micah's page, because Phoenix Talks is just one of the things. There's lots on there. So a lot of little nuggets Micah throws in there.
A lot of little nuggets. Yeah. I have live streams. We got messengers, got Phoenix Talks, Brindle's Vision, and some of my own music. Well, my own covers. My own music is coming in the future. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. Until we meet again, have an amazing night. Love you. Love yourself. And keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
It's Brindle and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, men's